Hi, fifth graders. Again, I'm really excited about this lesson. I think it's another really cool one, and it branches off from the last lesson we did for lesson 14. So I'm going to look back just at what we wrote in our notebook. We're not adding anything. But it was awfully convenient that in lesson 14, it worked out perfectly every time that that last column was able to be divided evenly into the number of groups. But what if instead of this being a 6, it was a 7? That means I would have 9 of them in each group, except for that last one. I would have had one extra dot here. So I had 36. 37 would be back up here. What then? And that's what today's lesson is all about. So you can use your whiteboard. You can use a piece of paper like I do. And we're going to work through some problems today. For the first one, no need to write anything down. I'm going to work through it here on the paper. I just want you watching, listening, and thinking. So let's start it with something small. How about 1.7? And let's divide that by 2. So I'm going to draw out my place value chart. Let's start there. So I have a line going here. And because I have 2 groups, here will be group 1. And here is group 2. I made this really long. All right, so we're going to do the same thing we did before. Okay, let's divvy out my $1. Well, that's not fair. So I have to take that dollar back. And that gets added over here. So that 7 is now a 17. Let's divvy the 17 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's not equal. This is what I was talking about. On top, I have 9, and the bottom, I only have 8. So I'm going to have to take that one away. What do you think we're going to do? I took one away over here. It went one column to the left. The same thing is going to happen. I need to add another place value here. So right now, what number is in my hundredths place for 1.7? I have nothing. So I am adding to that 10. So 0 plus my 10 is just 10. So the 1 gets carried over just like it did before. Now I can divvy out my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. It worked this time. And if it didn't work, I would just have to add a new column. So in my ones, I have nothing. In my tenths, we had 5, 6, 7, 8. In my hundredths, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 17 tenths divided by 2 is 85 hundredths. Let's see how that looks with long division. I'm going to write out that problem again. 1.7 divided by 2. We're still using dad, mom, sister, brother, and Rover. Let's do that same thing. 2 goes into 1. It doesn't. 2 is already too big. 0 times. How many times can 2 go into 17? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Too much. So 8 times, which was 16. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract. 17 minus 16 would just be 1. We cannot, absolutely cannot, say that our answer is 0.8 remainder 1. We have to choose one option or the other. We either are going to have a decimal or we're going to have a remainder. And it really depends on the situation which one makes more sense. For right now, because we've been working so much with decimals, I want to keep a decimal answer. Because decimal already shows that we have a part. We can just get smaller and smaller parts. So here's what we do. We don't have anything to bring down. But yes, we do. Can you see right here next to the 7? There's something invisible there. There is an invisible 0. Because 1.7 and 1.70 are the exact same thing. That 0 doesn't change the value of my 17/10. I'm just showing that there's nothing in the hundredths. So I can keep adding zeros that I can bring down. So now that 1, if I have anything when I subtract and there's nothing to bring down, I'm going to have to add a 0. So now 2 goes into 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5 times, which was exactly 10. When I subtract and I get a 0, and there's nothing else to bring down, we are done. I got the same answer there. Let's do another one. Let's go with 0, or sorry, that's not a 0, that's a 2. 2.6 divided by 4. All right, let's set up our place value chart. 2.6. And this time divided into 4 groups. Here's group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. There we go. So if it helps, think of like money. $2.60. I'm going to share amongst 4 kids. All right. I want you to pause, divvy up your 2. What does that look like? All right, let's check. 1, 2. What did you do? If that's not fair, what do we do now? We need to take those back. Sorry, kids. And that gets added to my 6. So now I have 26. It's like taking away $2 and adding 20 dimes. Same thing. Now pause the video, divvy out your 26 dimes. You ready to check? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Not even. Shocker, considering we're working on adding a column. So I'm taking away 2 of those. And where do those get added? We're going to have to extend this. So I'm going to add a new row in my place value chart. And what's in this row right now? There's nothing. We write in a 0 as a placeholder. So if I'm taking away 2 dimes, that's going to give me 20 pennies. I didn't have any pennies before, so it just stays 20. Now let's divvy up our 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect. All right, figure out what is our answer here. What is this place value chart showing? All right, pause if you need more time. So here's what I see looking at one of those groups. I have nothing in the ones. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my tenths and 5 in my hundredths. 65 hundredths is my answer. Let's check using long division. 2.6 divided by 4. Dad, mom, sister, brother, Rover. Why don't you pause, try and solve, remembering what we did up above when we had nothing to bring down, but we had a 1 here. What did we do? Pause the video. Let's check. 4 goes into 2, 4. Nope, 0 times. Let's keep going. Don't forget your decimal. How many times can go into 26? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. 28 is too much, so it'll be 6 times. What was 6 times 4? 24. Subtract. 26 minus 24 would be 2. Oh, I ran into that same problem. I have a 2, so I'm not done. It's only when I subtract and get a 0 and there's nothing to bring down that I'm completely done. So what do we bring down? We bring down this invisible 0 here. And that 2 becomes a 20. Because I can add a 0 to the 2 decimal 6. Doesn't change the value. I'm just pointing out that there's nothing in the hundredths. So now, how many times can 4 go into 20? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 5 times, and I hit 20 exactly. So now when we subtract and we get 0 and there's nothing to bring down, that's how you know you're done. Because remember, we cannot have a decimal and a remainder. It's like counteractive. It's not, kind of cancel each other out. Can't have that. All right, let's try, actually, I think, yep, okay. I want you to try solving. Oh, just kidding. I'm so sorry. I want us to do one more problem together before I have you try anything in your problem set. So let's open up, or sorry, erase. And let's try another problem. It's going to be slightly different. So actually, I'm going to go to the next slide. You get a little bit of break. I know this has been a long video, so take a little break. And then when you're ready to keep working, go on to the next slide.